Welcome back everyone to my Let's Play of Final Fantasy V, the 4-job Fiesta for TNV Small Crew Rescue. Last episode we made our way about a third of the way through Exdeath's castle. Now we're going to go through about another third of it. We have two mini-bosses that we're going to fight in this episode. You don't have to fight them, but if you're going for 100%, you want to defeat them. So one gives you a spell, one gives you an item, and then one also ensures that they make another boss later on in the game easier. So now at this point, in the Exdeath's castle, we can start running into a whole bunch of dragons. We can run into the yellow dragons, we can run into the blue dragons. Once again, you can berserk them, so they don't use their multi-targeting attacks, and they'll just use physical attacks on you. So the blue dragons won't cast the snowstorm, the yellow dragons won't cast the thunder on you. So you can win some core rings off the yellow dragons. I actually did win a core ring, which is good because the core ring is going to be useful against two bosses later on in the game. So core, once again, it prevents damage from fire, gives you hit points when you take water, and is weak though to thunder. But here's a good reason for Geomancers. Even if you're not in the 4-job Fiesta, Geomancers have that ability to not take damage from damaged tiles, and all those tiles down there are lava. You take off 50 hit points when you step on them. Also, Geomancer can find pit traps that fall, like that we just saw there. So if you step on one of them without a Geomancer, you'll fall down into the lava, take more damage. So we're going to eventually touch the skull on the bottom to open the way forward, but before we do that, we want to touch the skull on the top, because that takes us to this boss, Carbuncle. Here is one of the first optional boss, and he has two phases. He alternates the phases. It's not like a lot of bosses where they go into a second phase when they reach a certain hit point threshold. This guy just basically casts spells on himself, bounces them off to hit you, and then he'll change phases and he'll go into a recovery phase. When he's in the recovery phase, he'll drop the reflex spell on himself, and he'll start healing himself. But what's more important in the drop phase is he's susceptible then to instant death attacks. So that's why I had TNV and Faris use the Break Blade. So if they hit him with that when he's in his second phase, his healing phase, that'll instantly defeat him. Terrain can also, you can also tell if you're in his healing phase, if the terrain, like a Sonic Boom, hits him, because Sonic Boom doesn't work against like bosses that have the heavy status. But like I said, this guy, when he's in the healing phase, he loses the heavy status. So that's why the Sonic Boom actually worked there. And now, like I said, you'll see he'll start killing himself, but he's, more importantly, he's susceptible to instant death attacks. So, yep, hit him with a Break Blade, he's turned to stone. If you had the Shoat summon that I got, you can also cast the Shoat spell if you're a summoner, and that could instantly defeat him when he's in his healing stage. So, and Cara has mastered Geomancer, but everybody else has too, so we'll keep people in their jobs that they are now. So, getting a lot of good ability points here in this area. So I'm just gonna head on up, and now once again we touch this skull, and the way forward disappears. We have the skull on the bottom. When we make our way back, we gotta make sure that we don't step on that skull again, otherwise the bridge there will disappear, and we'll just have to keep going back. So what you do is you just walk straight across, and that'll take us to our second save point. Make sure we save our game, because we have, like I said, the second mini-boss coming up in the next room. Like I said, this is an optional boss, but it helps with the story. It brings a lot of closure to stuff if you do fight this boss. So, and I of course want to get 100% of the game, so I'm going to do it. Get a partisan, that's a spear, good for dragoons. Pinwheel is an item that ninjas can throw, so we won't see either of those things used. Well, we head over here and we grab this treasure chest, and it's empty. But opening that treasure chest causes Gilgamesh to appear. If we were just ignored that treasure chest and tried to go up the staircase there, Gilgamesh wouldn't appear. But But Gilgamesh, he taunts us and basically says, hey, I took what was in that box. And we'll learn what's in that box. We actually get it after we defeat him here. But this Gilgamesh ain't too hard. He drops the Excalibur sword, but it's actually a fake sword. Remember we learned Excalibur was one of the swords, the mystic weapons. That was in Castle Cruzar. So this is actually a fake Excalibur sword. It's actually, in some translations, called the Excalibur. It's a bad sword and only does 1 damage when you hit somebody with it. But it has really high attack power, but like it's cursed, so it only deals 1 damage when you hit someone with it. But if you equip it and then use an ability that calculates attack power but doesn't use the weapon for attack power, so like Goblin Punch, that is based on your attack power but doesn't use the weapon, so you can bypass it and do a lot of damage that way. Also, it's very powerful when thrown as an item from ninjas. So there is some use to it, but we'll never use it. But we don't have like the blue mage. But Gilgamesh, not too hard. Probably one of the easier ones. 1, we have a lot more abilities. 2, we can kind of minimize his physical attacks with just the armor spell. And he doesn't use too many blue magic attacks, like the missile or the rocket. You use that frog song, but we can just easily use Maiden's Kiss to heal that up. So basically we just got to do a whole bunch of damage to him, and then he goes into a second phase. And the second phase, though, you basically won the battle there. The second phase is just basically like a cutscene where we kind of learn Gilgamesh's fate. So it also gives a little bit of a clue about future dungeons. So yeah, this battle's just long. That's why I have it going on double speed here. Eventually Gilgamesh will, he'll start talking, and he brings up Galuf. So that's coming in handy there. There's an armor there, that critical, he ain't gonna really hurt us. So, here it is, second phase. So let's see, this is our 4th time, huh? So at this point, it's just basically, he's just going to be talking. Makes me kind of happy. Like I said, basically, won the fight at this point. By the way, where's that jolly old man? Exdeath. I see. This is where Gilgamesh kind of becomes like a rival to us, like an enemy to us, to more like a friendly rival. He's kind of like, hey, I enjoy kind of like fighting you guys, and he kind of sees how evil Exdeath is. Exdeath killed Galuf there. Accidentally get Row there with Lenna. I do eventually deal with Cara as well. So waste some turns, but like I said, we don't really have to worry about damage here. But yeah, he's using that Excalibur sword now, but he sees he's not doing a lot of damage. He's like, wait, what's going on? And then he realized it's a fake. Wait, this is supposed to be the strongest sword, and I'm not even hurting you with it. So he did 1 damage to somebody, and then he did 30 only to Faris. And this is where Exdeath is tired of Gilgamesh, and basically expels him to someplace called the Cleft of Dimension. So we'll learn about the Cleft of Dimension later. Now that Gilgamesh is in the Cleft of Dimension, we actually go into the Cleft of Dimension. We can run into Gilgamesh there, and he helps us out against a later boss. So we'll see Gilgamesh again. And if we just step in here, then turn back around. Going up leads us straight to Exdeath, but I gotta go back and farm an enemy here. I just wanted to leave this area so I can show that the chest reopens, but nothing in it again, so... Now I'm gonna head back down to that floor where we fought Carbuncle in the lava, the 9th floor, because there's one enemy that I was hoping to encounter on an upper floor, but I didn't, and the best place to encounter them is here. So I was like, rather than, certain floors have different encounter rates, so the best place to encounter this enemy is on this floor. You can encounter on other floors, but I was hoping to not have to farm, but since I did, you can't encounter past that Gilgamesh floor. So I was like, well, time to turn around and go back. To avoid grinding, really, the battle's going to run into here now, I've just run away from. Although, if I didn't run away from him, I would have mastered White Mage on Lenna as well. But he's really close to that. So here it is, the Motor Drive enemies. They are weak to fire, ice, and lightning, so you can cast pretty much any one of those magic swords, the level 3 ones, and defeat these enemies with one hit. Which is good because one of the things that they do is they tend to counter, and they the more you hurt them, the harder their counters are. So being able to one-shot them with an elemental weakness sword really prevents those counters. You guys see that then eventually the one that we hit a few times is going to start countering. Yeah, that one in the back there, never hit, so he's not going to do anything. He's a two-shot some characters. You might be able to give him one shot, like someone like Cara, maybe even Faris, because she has really low defense and is in the front row. And let's just finish him off with the fire sword. Like I said, we could use the ice 3 sword, the light 3 sword, doesn't matter, but we finish it off. And then we just finish off the Dark Wizard, and we'll have hit all the enemies in Exdeath's castle. Fills out the bestiary. Make sure Cara's back up. Not because she needs the ability points, but experience points. Try to keep everybody behind the same level. Although in some instances you don't necessarily want everyone to be at the same level, because if everyone's in a multiple of 5, then you get hit by the level 5 Doom spell, or if everyone's in a multiple of 3, you get hit by the level 3 Flare, level 2 Old. It helps to have somebody on different levels, so you can't get hit with those number spells. But I'm not too worried about, so we all need some levels. And we get another useless hero drink. Let's head back up. And like I said, we've hit all the monsters in Exdeath's castle, so all you have to do is fight the big bad himself. And we already saw where he got a preview of where he's going to be. He's going to be basically 2 floors above where we got that treasure chest to fight Gilgamesh. So before we fight him, we're just going to heal ourselves up here and save our game. And then in the next episode, we will head up and fight Exdeath. And we're going to put to use those Staff of Light that we farmed from the Metamorphosis enemies in Guido's Cave. So if you haven't gotten any of them, you might want to exit out of here, pick up a few of them, because they'll make the battle much, much easier. So, take care, have a good one. I'll see you in the next episode where our party finally fights Exdeath. Take care, have a good one. Bye.